Hey, in today's lesson, you will learn the 7 ways you should stop studying English alone and how you should properly study English alone so that you can finally speak English like a native speaker and with confidence. Are you ready? Well then, let's jump right in. Method number 1, rewatching the same YouTube lessons on repeat. This is the first incorrect way to study English alone. Let me break this down why this is the incorrect way to study English alone. You see, you've watched the same advanced English phrases video 4 times this month. You nod along, recognize everything, and you feel productive. But you're not learning anything new. You're just enjoying the comfort of already understanding it. Remember, we're speaking about studying alone and watching the same video over and over again not being the right method. Let me explain the issues with this study method. You see, the first issue is you're mistaking recognition for growth. Your brain feels rewarded every time it understands, but understanding something for the 4th time isn't the same as learning something new. So when you're alone and you go back to that video you've watched so many times and you feel good because you understand it, you're actually not helping yourself improve your English. Here's the second issue with simply watching over and over again the same YouTube lesson. You're avoiding the discomfort of unfamiliar content. You see, the harder videos, the ones that would actually push you, sit in your watch later folder while you stay safe with the easy ones. Now remember, we're looking at the ways and the methods people use to study alone, but we're dissecting them to see, hey, what's the real issue? Why am I not improving? Why is my English not getting better? Here's the third issue with rewatching the same YouTube lessons on repeat. You're burning study time on 0 progress minutes. That hour you spent reviewing could have been an hour of real speaking practice, and now it's gone. These are the issues with simply rewatching the same YouTube videos over and over again. So you're probably asking, Teacher Tiffani, what's the alternative? I'm so glad you asked. Here's the alternative. Watch once, then teach it out loud. That teaching part shocked you, right? Caught you off guard. The videos are not bad. We're speaking about rewatching the same video being the issue, but you can watch it once and then teach it. Let's break this down. Instead of rewatching the video, watch it one time only. Then close the tab and explain what you just learned out loud in your own words as if you're teaching it to a friend. This forces your brain to move from passive recognition to active production, which is exactly the muscle you've been skipping. So you're home alone, you're watching the video. Maybe you're watching the video on your cell phone, on YouTube, the YouTube app, or maybe you have your computer out. But now, instead of watching it multiple times, you watch it once, and then you have to explain what you saw. Explain what you've learned. You're by yourself, but you're telling your brain, hey, active production is important. You're using a brand new muscle. How can you actually do this? Here are the steps. Step 1, open the video, watch it one time through, and do not pause, rewind, or take notes. Don't pause it, don't rewind it, and don't take notes. We're talking about stretching your brain, helping you finally be able to understand, comprehend, and speak English fluently, even when you are studying alone. Step 1, open the video, watch it through. Don't pause, don't rewind, don't take notes. Step number 2, close the tab completely so you can't peek back at the content. Step 3, stand up, face a wall or a mirror, and spend 2 to 3 minutes explaining out loud what you just learned, using full sentences at normal speaking speed without stopping to search for perfect words. This is going to be challenging the first time you do it. because your brain has gotten used to just kind of sitting back and watching the videos, taking it all in, input. But now you're saying, brain, I need you to output, bring out what I put in. And the first time it's going to be challenging, but don't worry. I promise you, it is going to work. You have to train your brain now to bring the information out. So again, you pick a video that you're going to watch. You watch it once, don't rewind, don't take notes. Trust your brain. You are intelligent. You can do this. I believe in you, and I want you to believe in yourself. So method number 1 switches to the alternative is watch it once and then teach yourself. Method number 2, reading English articles without ever speaking a word. This method of studying alone does not work. Let me explain why. You see, you read the New York Times every morning. You scroll through Medium essays at lunch. Your eyes are getting a workout, but your mouth hasn't made an English sound in 3 days. You're feeding the input side and starving the output side. I have seen this happen thousands of times. Super intelligent individuals, reading, understanding, comprehension, knowing the words, but when it's time to speak, frozen. Nothing comes out. Fear, nervousness, silence. Why? Because their mouth never had an opportunity to practice. Here are the 3 main issues with this method. Issue number 1, your reading vocabulary is growing while your speaking vocabulary stays frozen. You can recognize nuanced on the page instantly, but you'll never say it out loud in a meeting. Issue number 2, your mouth is losing its connection to the English in your head. The longer you go without speaking, the more unfamiliar your own English voice starts to feel when you finally open your mouth. You have to practice speaking. Issue number 3, you're building an imbalanced English. Strong on the inside, silent on the outside. Reading alone can never close the gap between what you know and what you can say. Remember, we're breaking down the methods that don't work so that you can finally have the methods that do work and will help you study alone effectively. So here's the alternative. Read it, then react to it out loud. You see, after you finish reading an article, put the phone or laptop down and spend 1 minute reacting to the article out loud, saying what you thought, what surprised you, what you disagreed with. You're turning silent input into spoken output in the same moment before the ideas cool off. What did you think about the article? Say it out loud. You know, that was a great point. I like that. I didn't really agree with that, but you're saying it out loud. Don't worry, you're alone. No one will think you're crazy. So what are the exact steps? Step number 1, finish the article, then put your device face down on the table or flip it over. Step 2, set a timer for 60 seconds on your phone. And then step 3, speak out loud to the empty room about what you just read. Saying things like, the part that surprised me was, or I don't agree with what they said about ... Keep going until the timer ends, even if you stumble, for 60 seconds. Again, you can use your cell phone, you can use your computer, your tablet. Read the article. Even if you print the article, it's totally fine. Read the article. You've grasped the information. Put your phone down. Well, set the timer first. 60-second timer, and then just speak. I'm telling you, it's going to feel uncomfortable at first, but it's going to help you. Now we have method number 3. Collecting vocabulary in a notebook you never reopen. This feels good. You have your vocabulary written down in your notebook, but it never gets opened. Let me break this down a little bit more. You write down every new word you encounter. Ubiquitous, meticulous, ostensibly, in a beautiful notebook. You have 17 pages of words. You haven't looked at a page once since March. And this is the issue. Now remember, I'm your English teacher, but the reason I'm so passionate about being your teacher is because I've been where you are. When I was learning Korean, all of the things I'm telling you about, I experienced. I remember very vividly the notebook I had with hundreds upon hundreds of Korean words that if I saw them, I would recognize them, but I could not bring them out when I was speaking. So I understand where you are. Here are the three main issues with this method. Number one, the act of writing gave you a feeling of progress that replaced the actual work of learning. Your hand was busy, so your brain felt satisfied, but the word never entered your real vocabulary. Issue number two, your notebook is a graveyard, not a garden. Words that aren't revisited, spoken, or used simply disappear, and you've built a system designed to bury them. I know this sounds harsh, this sounds weird. Wait a minute, I thought I was doing great. It's not bad to write them down. Remember, there's going to be an alternative, so this is not all bad. Here's issue number three. You're collecting instead of absorbing. Every new page makes the pile bigger, more overwhelming, and less likely you'll ever return to the words you once thought were worth capturing. This happens, and it happened to me. So the question is, Teacher Tiffani, what is the alternative? So glad you asked. Here's the alternative. 1 new word, 3 spoken sentences. You see, the moment you encounter a new word worth keeping, stop and use it in 3 sentences out loud before you do anything else. No writing, no saving, no screenshots. The word either lives in your mouth today or it doesn't live at all. This is so powerful. I had a friend when I was in South Korea, and I was studying Korean, and I was at the school. He was studying Korean kind of on his own, and we just have a lot of Korean friends. His Korean increased exponentially, his speaking abilities. He did this. He'd learn a word and use it immediately. Now, I am an individual who I love writing. So that's why I understand where you are. I have tons of journals behind me. I write all the time. So I was used to writing things out, and it was helpful, but he improved faster because he was speaking and using what he learned immediately. So this is why I'm so passionate about helping you. Here's how you do this exactly. Step 1, when you spot the new word, pause immediately. Don't reach for a pen or a notes app. Step 2, say the word out loud 3 times to feel it in your mouth. And step 3, create 3 different spoken sentences using the word. 1 about your day, 1 about someone you know, and 1 about something you want in the future. Use the word immediately. Let's say, for example, you're learning the word elated. I teach this word a lot to my students about being extremely happy. Okay, what made you feel elated in the morning? What made you feel elated in the middle of the day? What made you feel elated in the evening? Say the word a lot. This leads us to method number 4. Shadowing a podcast in your head instead of out loud. You're listening to the podcast, but not a word is coming out of your mouth. Let me break down why this method is not effective. You see, you listen to a podcast and mentally repeat what the speaker says. Your lips don't move though. No sound comes out. You call this shadowing, but your mouth muscles haven't practiced a single syllable. You're seeing the issues with these study alone methods. Let me give you the 3 issues with this method of studying. You see, reason number 1 or issue number 1, your mouth has its own memory and you're not training it. Speaking English is a physical skill, and thinking through sentences silently doesn't build the muscles that produce sound. You're getting more intelligent, you're learning more words, but they're not going to come out. Issue number 2. You're getting the satisfaction of effort without the physical work. Your brain feels tired, so you assume you practiced, but your tongue, your lips, and jaw have done nothing. This is why so many English learners prepare for exams like IELTS or the OPIC exam, and they do well, but they don't improve their speaking after the exam. I've had students come to me, teacher, I studied, I passed the exam, I got a great score, but when I go to speak, I still freeze. I still get shy. I still get nervous. It's simply because they did not give their mouth enough practice. Don't worry, the alternative is coming. The 3rd issue, when you actually need to speak, your mouth will still feel like a stranger's mouth. All that silent shadowing didn't prepare your physical voice for the moment it matters. So Tiffani, Teacher Tiffani, you're asking, what's the alternative? Here's the alternative. Shadow out loud in your car or the shower. Listen, I have concerts in the shower. I love singing. I have concerts in the shower and I have concerts in my car. True story, my mom has called me and we're on the phone talking and I have about 15 minutes before I reach my destination. I say, Mommy, I love you so much. I have 15 minutes left and I need to have a 15-minute concert. She laughs and says, I understand. I'll talk to you later, honey. And I sing for the next 15 minutes. So speak out loud in your car. No one's there. You're alone. You can do it, or in the shower. Let's break this down. Pick a place where you can make noise without feeling self-conscious. Your car during the commute, the shower, or the kitchen when you're home alone. And repeat the speaker you're listening to out loud, matching their speed, rhythm, and tone. If sound isn't coming out of your mouth, you aren't shadowing. Here are the steps exactly. Step number 1. Choose one 5-minute segment of a podcast or YouTube video with the speaker whose voice you like. Step 2. Get into a space where you can speak freely, a car, a shower, a kitchen, or a walk. Make sure you're alone. Step 3. Play the audio and speak along out loud, about half a second behind the speaker, imitating their rhythm and tone, not just the words. This is how your speaking will improve, even when you're studying alone. The important thing is you can't just shadow silently in your mind. You need to get the words out. So find that 5-minute segment, a podcast or a YouTube video. Get that space alone and practice out loud. Method number 5. Watching Netflix with subtitles in your native language. This is not the best method to study alone. Let me explain why. You see, you tell yourself that watching Friends, that show, counts as studying, but the subtitles are in Portuguese, Spanish, or Arabic. So your brain is reading your native language while your ears tune out the English. You've watched 3 seasons and absorbed nothing. It's important to turn off the subtitles in your language. Now, what are the 3 issues with this method? The first issue is your brain always chooses the easier path. The moment your native language appears on screen, your ears go on vacation. There's no need to listen when the meaning is already handed to you. Your ears say, sayonara, you don't need us. You're reading in your own language. We're not needed in this situation. The second issue is you're training yourself to rely on translation, not comprehension. After hours of this, your brain expects a safety net every time it hears English. You see what's happening now, right? The third issue, you're calling it study when it's actually entertainment. The story you tell yourself, I'm improving my English, is protecting you from doing the harder, quieter work that would actually change things. These are the 3 issues that explain why this method doesn't work. But the alternative does. Here's the alternative. Switch subtitles to English and pause to repeat. Now, this is a powerful method. I used this when I was studying Korean. I was at the beginner level and I was watching Korean dramas, Korean television programs. I would turn the subtitles on in Korean. So my writing improved because I was learning how to spell the words. My listening improved because I was hearing what they were saying. And my speaking also improved as I copied, shadowed, and mimicked what they were saying. So, change your subtitles from your native language to English and turn your watching into active practice by pausing every few minutes to repeat a line you just heard. You're moving from passive translation to active listening and speaking in the same activity you were already doing. So let's check out the exact steps for doing this, how you can start studying alone effectively, removing the bad method and integrating or start using the right method. Step 1. Before the show starts, go into the settings and change the subtitles from your native language to English. Step 2, pick one character whose voice you enjoy and commit to pausing whenever they say a full sentence you liked. Finally, step 3, pause, rewind 5 seconds, Listen again, then say the line out loud, matching their tone and speed as closely as you can. This is how you improve your listening, actively listening, following along in English, and then repeating what they said. This is how you actually study alone. Instead of just watching Netflix with subtitles in your language, now you're forcing yourself, hey, it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but I'm going to turn on subtitles in English so that I can improve my English listening skills and also speaking skills as I shadow them. Leading us to method number 6. Reviewing flashcards of words you'll never actually use. You have tons of flashcards, but how many of the words do you actually use in real life? Let me break this down. You drill flashcards with words like inconspicuous and imperceptible. You remember the definitions. You will never, though, say these words to another human being. Meanwhile, you still can't naturally say, I'm running behind. Now, again, you may use these words. These may be words you actually know. These are just examples of words that are on a flashcard, words that you've written down and you know the meaning of, but you don't say them in real life. So what are the 3 issues with this method? Issue number 1, you're building a vocabulary for a life you don't live. The words you're drilling belong in novels and academic papers, not in the meetings, dinners, and conversations that actually fill your days. Issue number 2, the words you really need, the everyday phrases that come up constantly, are being neglected while you memorize words you'd never say out loud. You need to learn words that will actually be used by you in real world conversations. And issue number 3, you're mistaking rarity for sophistication. Knowing imperceptible doesn't make you sound advanced. It makes you sound like someone memorizing a dictionary instead of speaking a language. Again, if imperceptible is not a word that matches your already known vocabulary or matches the way you normally speak, you want to get words that match what you normally would say. So here's the alternative. Build your flashcards from your own day. Throw out the pre-made vocabulary decks and build your cards from moments you actually lived today. The phrase you wished you knew in the meeting, the word you couldn't find at dinner, the sentence you rehearsed but never said. Your vocabulary should come from your real life, not a stranger's word list. So again, if imperceptible is a word you would use in your real life, keep it in your word bank, but don't allow someone else's word bank to be forced upon you. So how can you do this? Step number 1. At the end of each day, take 2 minutes to write down 3 moments when you wished you had a better English word or phrase. Step 2. Look up the natural English version of each one, the way a native speaker would actually say it. Now that means the term may not be in a dictionary. You may have to go online to search for it, but what a native speaker would actually say in the situation. And step number 3. Say each new phrase out loud 5 times. Then use it in a spoken sentence about tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to say. You see this pattern, right? As we're going through these methods, the pattern is you're going to learn something, but you need to use it by speaking out loud. Your mouth needs practice. Even when you're alone, you're watching the videos alone, you're recording your voice, no one's around you, but your English is improving. Now we have method number 7. Journaling in English, but never reading it out loud. Journaling is important, but if you're not giving your mouth practice, that's the issue. Let's break this method down. You see, you write a paragraph about your day in your English journal every night. That's great. Your writing is thoughtful. Your handwriting is neat. Your throat, though, has not produced one of those sentences. Your hand knows English, but your mouth does not. And this is the issue with this method. There are 3 full issues, though. The first main issue is you're training the wrong skill for the goal you actually want. You want to speak confidently, but every night you're practicing handwriting instead. You're not actually speaking or saying anything in English. Issue number 2, Your written English is getting further ahead of your spoken English. The gap between me on paper and me out loud keeps widening. And it's the out loud version that people actually meet. You're not practicing. Instead, you're simply writing. And issue number 3. The sentences you write are trapped on the page. They never touch your voice, never hit your ears, never become part of how you sound. So they can't help you the next time you need to speak. These are the 3 issues with this method at the time, but the alternative solves all of these issues. The alternative is voice journal instead of writing one. You're going to replace your written journal with a spoken one. Open the voice recorder on your phone and talk about your day in English for 2 to 3 minutes. Then listen back. You get the reflection benefits of journaling plus the speaking practice your mouth actually needs. Talk about effective. So again, here's step 1. We're going the steps. Step 1, open the voice memo or recorder app that's already on your phone. Step 2, press record and talk about your day for 2 to 3 minutes in English. No script, no planning, just speak. And step 3, listen to the recording once. Notice one thing you'd say differently, then record a 30-second take of that same moment with the better version. This is one of the most effective ways to improve your English when you're studying alone. On your phone, you're talking about your day, what you did. So those memories, those experiences are becoming cemented in your brain, and it's happening in English. This is how you improve. You can study alone. You just have to study alone the right way. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.